Nako po mga kababayan, isa pong doktor, no? Ang nagsalita patungkol nga din dito sa ICC. Sabi niya dito, mas maraming bansa ang marirealize na walang kwenta maging parte ng ICC. Halaka mga kababayan, pakinggan ho natin. Isa po itong philosophy professor and author of Radical Democracy in the time of Duterte administration. Ito na panoorin natin mga kababayan.
Who is destructive. Is a type of politician who imposes his own will. And kung ganyan, isang tao lang pala ang nagdidikta kung anong pwede gawin, halimbawa ng isang international tribunal, kung matakot sila ultimately because of these sanctions, although they're trying to resist, nakikita natin na the conditions aren't fair. And because of that, I believe more countries will realize na walang kwenta itong being a part of the ICC because walang fair na type of justice na pwede niyang ma-impose.
Sa sanksyon ng US sa ICC judges, sa mga ICC judges. Can you elaborate more on that, Doc, para sa ating mga kababayan?
Well, firstly, gusto nating sabihin na there is no such thing as global justice. Justice is an issue that should be left to independent sovereign states to deal with. To make the conditions of justice possible kasi, the starting point should be equal. Now, when it comes to global justice, in the global arena, the conditions are not equal. The starting point of countries is power and the hegemonic relationships among nations. And because of that, we see that the ICC is losing relevance and the United States and Russia are making it manifest na walang kwenta itong ginagawa nila kasi they can only deal with and try leaders of small, powerless countries pero wala silang magawa when it comes to powerful and countries that have the means and influence, including the resources, to be able to deal with them. So yun ang nagiging problema natin. So given that, kasi uneven and unequal ang sitwasyon, how can you consider kung ano man ang magiging desisyon ng ICC as a just and fair decision when they can only deal with the leaders of small countries such as ours? And in that regard, I do not believe that they have the moral claim to be able to render any judgment against our former president.
Kaya nga, Doc, napatanong yung ilan sa ating mga kababayan, saan ba nanggagaling yung lehitimong otoridad ng ICC? Sa international law ba talaga o sa geopolitical power?
Well, dalawang bagay kasi yan. We have what we call ideal jury. Dito sa ideal jury, sa international law, pwede nating sabihin na countries can enter into an agreement, itong tinatawag natin na Rome Statute. Pero there is also what we call real politics. And so itong global hegemonic order actually, when it comes to global politics, yun ang nagdidikta. So meaning to say, itong ideal jury which the ICC is founded on is something na wala talaga siyang relevance when it comes to these issues. Kasi what it can try are these parang helpless countries na walang magawa in terms of defending their sovereignty and independence against this hegemonic order in the world. So if you look at it, ang Western media may bias na against the former president. And given that, we cannot expect a fair and just trial in that regard.
Opo, dahil pinapakita, di ba, hindi ho ba, itong US sanctions na ito laban sa mga US judges, ICC judges, na ang international na batas ay umiira lamang kapag hindi sumasalungat sa interes ng mga makakapangyarihan o makapangyarihan.
Well, this is precisely the problem and the issue. Okay? Kasi if you come to think of it, kung pag-iisipan natin at pagtutuunan natin ng pansin, it's critical to look at the context. Kasi if they can only punish, in that respect, those leaders who do not have the means to in any way influence the outcomes of these big global events. So, how can they assert claim na meron silang moral ascendancy to try leaders such as President Duterte when in fact, kung titingnan mo, Netanyahu allegedly through what is happening in Gaza, has caused the death to more than 60,000 people. More than half of them children and women. If you come to think of Russia, hundreds of thousands of people have been destroyed, okay, and thousands more killed. And yet the ICC feels that it is actually helpless. So ano ang substantive argument ng ICC to pursue justice for the world? Okay, so when in fact it only chooses those countries in terms of implementing the type of justice that it wants to impose. So given that, nakikita natin na in terms of moral reasoning, wala nang silbi ang ICC. It has lost its credibility.
Oo. Malinaw po yung, Doc, na sabi po ninyo, bukod sa Amerika, may Russia pa. Itong Russia, kinonvict pa talaga nila itong mga ICC judges at yung chief prosecutor in absentia. At sabi mo nga, at baga ito yung tugon at paghihiganti, retaliation baga ng Russia doon sa inilabas ng ICC na arrest warrant laban kay President Vladimir Putin.
Yan nga, ang nagiging problema nito is it is as if we are surrendering our sovereignty to the ICC. Now, ano bang pwedeng magawa natin? We cannot do anything in the same way as Russia did. Pero ang pwede nating gawin is kailangan nating i-assert yung sovereignty natin. We have a functioning justice system. Wag naman nating ipakita sa mundo na our democracy is dysfunctional, that we cannot try the president here. Okay? For the sake of argument, for instance, if there is validity to these allegations, then we can do it here kasi we are a sovereign and independent state. So we cannot let Western societies make judgment upon our people, upon our history, upon our leaders. Because if that becomes the case, then we are submitting ourselves to these unfair conditions in the global arena when it comes to the issue of global justice.
Po, ang tingin kasi ng ilang, lalo na ng mga kritiko, Doc, tayo daw isang failed state, yung Pilipinas, pagdating sa hustisya.
Well, that is a mistake and that is the way Western media sometimes portrays us. Ang isang problema din dito, dahil sa antagonism of the former president against the mainstream local media, they also portray President Duterte in a bad way. Parang unfair kasi you have to look at it in terms of context, in terms of the proper historical narrative. Bakit ba naging presidente si President Duterte? He fought against the elite. He fought and stood up against the oligarchs. And because of that, if you look at mainstream media in the Philippines, a lot of its interest is something that's influenced by the oligarchy, influenced by the elites. And because Duterte is the arch enemy of the elite, this is how they portrayed our president. Kaya ito ang nakukuha ng mga nagbabasa ng media outlets in the Philippines doon sa labas. And because of that, the framing, yung pag-iisip ng Western societies against President Duterte is they only see him in a narrow way, myopic tunnel vision. Nakikita lang nila yung mga allegations that are portrayed in the negative way, pero hindi nila nakikita the types of change, reform, and the kind of radical leadership that he used in order to at least face up to the enemies of the Filipino people. Sino ba ang tunay na kalaban natin? It's not President Duterte. Itong mga elitista sa bansa natin, because they are the ones who have been oppressing our people. And because of what has happened to the president, it's as if we are using the ICC, arming the elite in order to, in that respect, put into this very difficult condition the former president. But who are we surrendering? Sino bang sinusurrender natin? Hindi si PRRD. We are surrendering actually our sovereignty to the hegemonic power of this powerful countries who actually control the world. Yung ICC is just an arm, but instead of pursuing justice, we have seen, given the issues concerning Russia, Israel, and the United States, nakikita natin na it has lost ground. Wala siyang moral credibility. Pwede pang sabihin may legal foundation siya because of the Rome Statute, but in terms of moral credibility, I think there is a big problem there.
Kahit ba tayo ay tinuturing na third world country, Doc, pwede, maaari hubang gawin natin the same itong ginawa po ng US at ng Russia laban po sa mga ICC judges?
Well, yes, we can make what we can in terms of pursuing what we believe is just, pero we are powerless. Kasi sa global hegemonic order, yung starting point ng real politics is power. Russia, China, the United States, they dictate the terms and conditions in global affairs. So given that we are a helpless, powerless nation, pwede natin sabihin na, we are against what the ICC is doing to our former president, but point of the matter is the conditions here, ang prevailing conditions dito sa atin, antagonistic ang present administration to the former president. But at the same time, even if pagpalagay natin there is a new administration and it sees things in a favorable way kay PRRD, still we will be helpless because yung kondisyon wala in terms of how we can assert ourselves, in terms of how we can enforce whatever we believe is most proper and appropriate from a legal and from a moral vantage point. So nakikita natin na it's all about power. ICC is exerting its influence against the Filipino people because we are helpless against the ICC. But at the same time, we also realize that the ICC is helpless when it comes to Russia and the United States. Walang magawa. Kahit justices nila, they are reduced into their bare minimum. Hindi nga sila maka-order ng pagkain online. And that only explains na sa mundo, there is no such thing as justice.
Walang saysay na.
So ayun mga kababayan, ano pong masasabi nyo dito sa pahayag ng isang doktor? No? Mag-comment kayo mga kababayan kung anong pahayag nyo dito patungkol sa pahayag niya sa ICC. So hirap na daw ang ICC judges mga kababayan dahil sa ginawa ng US. Halaka mga kababayan. So mag-comment kayo, mag-like at mag-subscribe, at sa mga bagong pasok diyan, pa-subscribe po ng ating channel. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.